Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here, talking about a card I am super excited for. I don't think that there are many Xyz that become instant staple, for most decks, but hyperbole aside, I think that this is going to be one of them. This card that I'm talking about is number 103, Ragna Zero. It's from Primal Origins, and let's go over the card real quickly. It's a rank 4 water fairy monster. That's a very odd mix. How often do you see water fairies? Usually they're light. It's 2400 attack, 1200 defense. It requires 2 level 4 monsters to summon, so it's generic, definitely a bonus. The effect says once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz Material from this card, then target 1 face-up attack position monster your opponent controls, whose attack is different from its original attack. Destroy that target, and if you do, draw 1 card. So this is one of those cards that's just good from every single angle. 2400 is super solid for a rank 4. I would say that that's about where you need to be as far as the better Xyz go, just as far as putting in damage, like getting over shit and like that. It's a quick effect, so it can counter your opponent's plays during their turn. It has built-in monster removal as part of its effect, and then last but not certainly least, when this card destroys something via that effect, it automatically pays for itself via the free draw that it gets. You know what? Check that. When you blow up a monster on your opponent's field, that's actually when you're 1 for 1. When you draw the card, you're actually +1, which means that on your next turn, if you blew up another monster and drew another card, you actually do what, like +3? Okay, wow. That makes me almost want to change the entire landscape of this video. Now this card is going from like really, really good to like borderline broken. Anyways, it's kind of like they took every good possible effect that they could fit into 3 lines of text and just stuck it into a rank 4 and said, alright guys, here's your next $50 card. I mean, with that being said, I think that this card is going to be a huge fucking deal. I mean, when you look at the way the game is right now as we're playing it, I mean, Overworked has become a damn near side deck staple because we have so many ways of pumping our monsters up. You have the obvious field spells such as Harpies Hunting Ground and Gates of the Dark World, and then you've got things like Fire Formation TENKI, which is, I mean, it's the cornerstone of 3 competitive decks. You got Fire Fist, Fire Kings, and Bujin. And then you have the other decks that pump their monsters up by equipping them, decks like Noble Knights and INZEKTOR. So, I mean, just right there, I named 7 different decks that are all competitive, where this card could just instantly, hit the field, blow up a monster, and then essentially just lock your opponent down. It's like, do they want to, summon another monster? They're just going to lose it anyway. And that's not the worst case. The worst case is that you're giving your opponent draw after draw after draw. So it's like, oh my God, you're just pushing them closer to winning. I look at this card and it's really, really good. Not to mention, if their attack value actually goes down, such as your opponent summons a bear and they don't have, TENKI on board or whatever, and you go bottomless and they lance it, okay, well now their attack value is actually lower than it's supposed to be. So all of those lance cards, or excuse me, all of the forbidden spells, Forbidden Lance, and, Forbidden Dress doesn't see as much play, but, Lance usually goes side for side, or it usually goes in tandem with those decks that run TENKI. So if your opponent uses Lance, you can actually blow up their monster then too. So, I mean, this card is just going to be fucking ridiculous. Oh my goodness. So let me know what you guys think of this card. Am I overhyping it? I think the card is just going to be fantastic. Not just because it counters all 7 of those decks that I just said, but because it counters Lance plays too. The card's just going to be ridiculous, man. Thank you guys for watching as always. Subscribing makes life happy.